you said something in your body did what?
Nah, the material, I feel like the material using my body is stab the lady.
And so she just got stabbed.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that's not me. I'm talking about just for no reason. But since they did that, now they gotta investigate the material in my body is supposed to. Since they want to do all that, now they gotta investigate.
It's funny because she's from the Ukraine. She's from Russia. And they got a war, they had a war going on against the United States. So I'm just trying to understand out of all people why her.
Hey, it ain't. I don't have nothing. Hey, they just lashed out on her. That's what happened. They lashed out on her. Who else was working the album? Who was working the material? Whoever was working the material? They lashed out on her.
So you
Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rechakwadash. All praises to Yahweh. In the name Yahweh Shai. In the name of the Holy Spirit. Spirit Holy, literally translate. Excuse me. Double honor to our apostles, our elders, the great millstone who still willing to teach well. We talk this 100% truth according to the measure of the Holy Spirit. Peace, blessings, and safety unto the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. Pushing His word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh by Shem Shai. And we here at Great Millstone GMS, we always forewarn you lost sheep of the house of Israel, you Israelites of the MOTB, which MOTB stands for Mark of the Beast, which is the micro C-hip. Now, this is an audio recording. What you just heard was an audio recording from an interviewer who was interviewing the man who murdered the Ukrainian refugee on the train in Charlotte, North Carolina. And in the video, you hear him speak about a material that was put in his body. He said it was a material that the government put in his body. Now, could this man just be a schizophrenic, a crazy man? Yes. But, I was thinking about it, and, I got an article to speak on it because this man was what they call a career criminal. He was in and out of prison. He was in and out of jail. And you saw the amount of mugshots that he had. I think he had 12 mugshots before this crime even took place. So he would be the perfect candidate for a trial that Esau was doing, where he would put a micro C-hip, which is the mark of the beast, inside of inmates, prisoners. So this tweet here is from Benny Johnson. He's the one that posted the audio recording, and it says, put this on Do Not Disturb. You know what? My Do Not Disturb button disappeared, and I don't know how to get it back. I mean, it's just crazy. It says, the Carlos Brown Jr. speaks from jail for the first time since the brutal murder of Erna Zarutska. He claims the government implanted materials in his body that made him commit the horrific crime. The material, put it like that, this is a quote from him, the material, put it like that, the material used in my body, it's that, that's not me. I'm talking about just for no reason. But since they did that, now they got to investigate the material my body exposed to. Since they want to do all that, now they got to investigate. That's what he said in the audio recording. So, something to think about, because I even saw a movie, The Last Days of American Crime. And in that movie, they put a micro C-hip in individuals to prevent crime. And whenever you would think about committing a crime, they would send a frequency to the micro C-hip, and the person pretty much would not be able to function. They would have pain in their brain. It would make them like spaz out or whatever, but they wouldn't be able to commit the crime. Another movie was entitled Implanted. There was another movie called Implanted. And in that movie, they would put micro C-hips in homeless people. And in particular, they put a micro C-hip in this one woman. And then the micro C-hip began communicating with the woman's brain to make her do whatever they wanted her to do. They were giving her a list of instructions, and if she didn't do those list of instructions, she would feel physical pain. She would feel she would suffer physical harm and even death if she didn't commit and carry out the acts or the crimes that the AI technology or whoever was controlling it requested from her. So, like I said, this guy could be loony. He could just be a schizophrenic who believes that there's something in his body, or he could be telling the truth, and there could really be something that was placed in his body to make him do that. And there are also reports that when he was first arrested, they let him go. So maybe he's threatened to reveal the truth, and that's why they originally let him go. But then the outrage and the from the public made them arrest him again. So I typed in, because I remember hearing about this years ago. It says inmates given microchips. That's what I typed in on Google. Now the AI overview says no, inmates are not currently given mandatory micro C-hip implants in the U.S., though some lawmakers have proposed it as a method for tracking high-risk offenders. Again, people who have been in and out of prison, which he would fit the mold for that. While micro C-hips are used voluntarily for identification and convenience by some people, legal bans on mandatory micro C-hips exist. So they're telling you that it's not mandatory for prisoners, but that don't mean that prisoners aren't getting it. Now, look at some of the articles that popped up. I'm just going to read the titles of them. This is from corrections1.com. It says how transdermal, trans meaning across, dermal meaning skin, so under the skin, how transdermal micro C-hips could revolutionize prison security. This is from sentencingtypepad.com. Are micro C-hip implants for offenders inevitable? Sentencing, law, and policy. Micro C-hip implant technology for prisoners raises concerns. Why don't dangerous criminals get micro C-hip like pets when they get out? Security.com. Micro C-hip implants. Big brother in a chip coming your way? Question mark. Modern slavery in America 3 years ago. The use of nanotechnology in prison. Now, if I click on this one by security.com, I'm going to go down to the fourth. Let's see. I'm going to start at this paragraph here. It says, in a world of law and order, a micro C-hip with GPS capabilities could be implanted in inmates to minimize prison breakouts, as well as increase the likelihood of capturing escapees before they do harm in the outside world. But along with their many uses, micro C-hip implants could be prone to abuse, predict experts. Through Wi-Fi, listen to this, through Wi-Fi, black hatters could latch onto microchip implants, infecting them with havoc-producing viruses, or they could access the vital and private information the device contains. Someone could use the information to extort you, sell it, and threaten to release it to the public places. The chips also could spur physical violence, with thieves abducting micro C-hip individuals and forcing them to wave their hands to withdraw cash at an ATM. So they're telling you that pretty much that through Wi-Fi, a person could hack your micro C-hip, and if you have it in your brain, if you have the material, as this man put it, the material in your brain, they could actually use it to signal thoughts into your mind. And like I said, there's movies out on that, and there's even articles about Elon Musk. He said that he could download lyrics to your brain. Let me see if I can find that article from years ago. Now I don't want to show up. It was an article by the New York Times. Okay, here we go. This is from consequenceofsound.com. Elon Musk says people will eventually consume music through a brain C-hip. The startup company Neuralink was founded to help us keep up with artificial intelligence. So they created artificial intelligence, and now they're telling you that you need a micro C-hip to keep up with the artificial intelligence. Headphones may soon be a thing of the past if Elon Musk has his way. The tech bro and Kanye loyalist believes this is from 2020, believes his latest product, a brain C-hip implant, will be able to stream music directly into our brains. So if they can stream music directly into your brains, then they can give you instructions to commit a crime directly into your brain. That's, it's the same thing. It's no different. That means that they can put anything in your brain. And like I said, watch the movie Implanted. So, like I said, something to consider. I don't know if it's true or not, but one thing for certain, we know what you devils are up to. And we know the lengths that you're going to go to push forth your agenda. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant, meaning we know Satan's devices, his plans, his plots, his schemes. Let me get one more real quick. This is in the book of Job. Job chapter 21 verse 27. Behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. So there are many devices, which really means schemes, plots, like I said, evil plans that Esau imagines against the Lord's elect. Because it's really not about you 2/3 that don't believe in this truth. It's about him trying to taint, defile, disqualify the elect with that technology by putting it in their body. But he may, like I said, he may be using people who already have this technology in their body to push forth his agenda. Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, right? Bond meaning in prison, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Now the Greek word for mark is a charagma, which means a physical implanted device, a physical implanted thing. Okay? And it said it's going to be either in your forehead, which is the brain. The Greek word for forehead is metapon, which means the back of the head. And it says, or in your right hand, which represents either hand. Because in Revelation the 20th chapter, when it speaks on the same technology, it says hands, plural. So some people are going to get it in their hand, which is going to be like the more affordable route. But then you have people who are going to want to take it in their brain. And people are going to willingly line up to take it because the conditions that are going to be brought upon the planet Earth are going to make it seem like this technology is the necessary and progressive thing to do. And this is the deception of the beast system. Okay? It says, and that no, and it's just a bonus that he can control you through the technology. That's just a bonus. It's a bonus that he can use it to buy and sell. That's just a deceptive bonus, okay? But the real purpose of this is the ones of you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that take it, you will be disqualified for salvation. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this mark is going to be used to buy and sell. This is how we know that the mark is not Christianity. Okay? The mark is not sleeping with white women. The mark is not an embargo. It's not a spiritual mark at all. It's a physical thing that's going to be used to physically buy and physically sell. On top of your banking information will be on there. Your passport, your social security card will all be on there. If I go back to the previous article, it said that your credit card, your passport can all be placed. That private information can be placed on that mark. When you go to the root word of the word charagma, the word is charax, which is referring to the delivery system. The word charax means a palisade or a stake. That stake is what's going to be used to, basically the syringe. That's what John saw. That syringe is going to be, the charax is going to be used to deliver the microchip, the charagma, into your skin, under your skin. And then when you go to the root word for charax, the word is actually grapho, which grapho means to write. It means to write or to document information. So yes, there's going to be information, private information, your personal information is going to be on that technology. Okay? And they could even use it to send instructions, to grapho instructions into your brain. As you see, Elon Musk says people will eventually consume music through a brain C-hip. I'm going to read that again. Headphones may soon be a thing of the past. The tech bro Elon Musk says a brain C-hip will be able to stream music directly into our brains. That's all I need. Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So whoever takes that mark, you're going to be destroyed. You must refuse the mark even to the penalty of death in order to receive the salvation of Yahweh B'Shem El Shai. Revelation 20:4, and I saw thrones and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of the Most High, because the word of the Most High commands you not to take it. It says, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, which is the system, neither his image, which is the philosophies of the system, neither have received his mark, which is the pinnacle, or which is the foundation of the New World Order, the mark. That everybody has to have one in order for the New World Order to work the way that the so-called white man wants it to work. It said, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, plural. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. So the ones that refuse that mark are the ones that's going to reign with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years, man. So I wanted to report that, the fact that this is being reported that the Carlos Brown Jr. is saying that, you know, they put a material in his body. They put a material in his body, and the material in his body made him do it. He said they took over the material. He said that's not me. He said they made me do it. You know, so since they made me do it, now they got to investigate what's in his body. That's what he claims. You know, so Lord, when it's edifying, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Kom Yasharallah, Shalom.